Welcome back to Color Me Impressed. I'm Emily, and today I wanted to go through my completed pages for January with you. So I actually completed 30 pages this month, which is a lot for me, probably chump change for the rest of you guys, but it was definitely an improvement over what I did in December, so I was happy about that. Quite a few of my completed pages are either color by number or in this Eriy book that I have right in front of me. So I think we can go ahead and get started with this first Eriy book. This is from her Tracing Around the World series, and this is the Traveling Through Time version. And if you remember, I had put this book on my list of books to finish at some point, hopefully in 2021. And this book has the very faint line work that you can trace over. Of course, you can color it traditionally as well. But I have been doing the tracing method in this book. So I'll show you the first image that I did here. And I did actually give a sneak peek of this picture in that 10 books to finish video, which I will link up above. So this picture was done in the Ohuhu dual tip markers, just the water-based, and it has the fine liner on one side and then the brush tip on the other side. So I obviously did this with the fine liner side, and I had just a blast doing it. I didn't stress too much about the colors. I kept it very simple. I just pulled out any marker that I thought would work, and it honestly turned out great. I really liked the effect. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the tracing method, but I loved the process, and I think it just turns out very different and fun. So you can kind of see I was playing around a little bit with pressure and layering, in the sense of, I outlined this once and then I went over it again, and that's why this green color looks a lot darker than everything else. Just seeing what I could do with fine liners in this book. So this was fun. I will say I have a very heavy hand, so if you feel the book, it actually has indentations from where I was using the fine liner, and I just need to be more careful because it can go over to the other side, just the indentations. So that was the first one I completed in this book, and then I tried to do something different with the opposite page, where I used the brush tip side of the marker just to see how it would look. And seeing these side by side, it gives you a good idea of the difference in how they look. So this side just looks a lot kind of, I would say, crisp, and this one looks a little bit more hand-drawn, I guess. Obviously they're all hand-drawn, but this looks bolder but also a little bit softer, I guess, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I really liked the process of using the brush tip just because I didn't have to be so precise, and the brush tip obviously allows you to kind of swoosh it a little bit, very professional terms here. So yeah, I liked the process of doing this. Again, didn't do anything in the way of, picking out a color palette or anything. I kind of just picked what I thought would look nice. At a certain point, I did have to limit myself because, as you can see, there's a ton of colors on this page, but it's not as hectic when you're not coloring in everything. So I think you can get away with making things a little bit more colorful when you're doing the outlining. So there's that. And then I did a couple others in here as well. Where is it? I did this hot air balloon page with mostly the brush end of the marker, a little bit of fine liner here and there. But this was a fun one again. I do think I want to try to keep my color palettes a little bit more limited sometimes, especially with more simple pictures like this. So this one kind of got a little bit weird with the colors, but it still turned out good. And then I think this is one of my favorites that I've done so far. You can see that I mixed up the styles that I was doing where, I was either doing mostly the brush end or mostly the fine liner. And in this one, I did a little bit of both. So I kind of used this, what would you call this? This foliage to outline the picture. And I did that with the brush tip, and then I also went and did a little bit more detail with the fine liners just to make it stick out a little bit more. So I thought that was kind of cool looking. And then the middle of the picture I just did with fine liners in very limited colors. So I kind of like the effect of this being on the outside like that. And then I did a similar technique to that with these next two pictures here. Pretty much just using, if there's any sort of border or some sort of thing where I can create different effects with the thin and thick, I try to do that. So here I did the curtain with the brush nib, and then the inside of the picture with thin markers. And now that I'm looking at this, I think I haven't actually tried having the focal point of the picture being the thick end of the marker. So that's definitely something to try, but I think this is actually one of my favorites just because the frame was so perfect to use with the brush end of the marker, and it really just created a cool effect there. So I think this one turned out really nice. I'd also like to apologize to the United Kingdom for this flag. I don't know if it was supposed to be a Union Jack, but I tried to make it one and like draw on the lines, and I don't know, it just looks funky. I'm so sorry about that. One last thing I'd like to say about this book is I did try the Tombow water-based dual tip markers as well. I didn't try the brush end, but I tried the bullet nib. Oh my god, I just got it over my hands. But I tried the bullet nib, and I will say, I think something about the ink for this, it kind of lays on top of the paper as opposed to absorbing more into the paper, so it kind of gets that effect when a marker is a little bit too watery, if that makes any sense. So just something to keep in mind. I don't think it's really smearing or anything, but it just kind of behaved a little differently than the Ohuhu markers. So I know a lot of people have these markers, that's why I wanted to mention that. So before I move away from this book, I do want your opinion. You can see I experimented a lot with the different styles in this book. And if you could leave me a comment below and let me know which one you like the best. Do you like the completely fine liner version? Do you like the completely brush tip? Or do you like something mixed like this? I'd love your feedback because I have a lot to do in this book, so thank you in advance. And again, that was of course Eriy's Traveling Through Time from the Tracing Around the World series. Next up, we have Kelly Horton's Christmas Darlings. I did my first picture of Kelly Horton's last month in December from this book, and I loved it so much that I did a couple more in here. So I did this red-headed girl. So I did this red-haired girl, and I don't do red hair a lot, so it was fun trying to figure out the colors for this. And you can see I did a little bit of shading here with the hair and the skin. Let's see if I can get you any closer here. So yeah, I enjoyed doing a little bit more with this picture. In January, I had fun doing skin and hair, so I kind of did a little bit more than usual. I did an alcohol marker base with polychromos pencils over the top. The one thing about adding shading to the face and the hair, which I really enjoy doing, is then I feel like sometimes anything else in the picture looks weird if you don't do any sort of shading. So that was kind of something I just quickly did outlines to create shadows on the rest of her body there. But I really had fun doing this one. I picked one intentionally that had a very simple background that I could just go over with one color to focus on the woman in the picture. So I like how that one turned out, and I also used a little bit of gel pen on here. And then this one was so fun to do. Very rarely do I look at a picture and see it fully developed in my head, but this was actually one of those times. I knew I wanted her to have dark hair, and then this like blue bodice, or blue dress with kind of this lighter blue cape on. So I wanted it to appear to be a little iridescent, but I didn't want to actually do any work to make that happen, so I just threw glitter at it. I don't know if you can tell that it's super sparkly. But this I did with my usual Cali Art alcohol markers, and then I did some, it was either Jelly Roll or Color It glitter gel pens for some of the glitter on here. And I don't know if you can tell again with the glitter situation. I don't know, I can't get it to work. But the arms are actually supposed to look like she's wearing sort of that mesh sparkly, kind of like a figure skater look. So that's what I was doing there. And then I also like the way that the sky turned out. I did a very, very dark bluish gray. And then I put some just yellow and gold dots of glitter gel pen. So that was a fun one. And both of those were, of course, from Christmas Darlings by Horton. Next up, we have 50 Wintertime Mandalas by Kameliya Angelkova. I was obsessed with Camellia this month, so I did a ton of stuff in several different books. This is the first book that I worked in January. And for this book, I'm pretty much doing Bic intensity markers when I need a little bit more solid color, and then everything else I'm just doing in Color It glitter gel pens. So this one was an interesting one for me because I don't usually put brown and blue together, but I wanted a little bit different of a color palette for this one. So you can see it's very sparkly. So that was fun. And then I really like the way that this one turned out. I tend to be very simple with my color palettes and doing the very expected things to do. So with this one, purple and pink don't really seem like winter colors, but I wanted to use them and I thought it turned out very cool. Again, this anything that's not glitter is Bic Intensity, and then everything else is Color It glitter gel pen. So it's very sparkly. This was actually the first picture that I did in this book. This was the first time I was coloring entirely in gel pen, ever. So I wanted to see how that would work, and it was just so fun. When you're coloring with gel pen, you don't have to worry about, stopping and it getting streaky, so I was able to kind of do this while I worked on some other stuff, so that was fun. And then lastly, I really like this one because I'm not very good with limited color palettes, I don't think, but when I do them, it just turns out so nice. So this was obviously just blues, grays, and silvers with the mittens and the snowflakes. Very sparkly. And sorry if I'm like moving everything around. I got a new lens that you saw in my December wrap up with all of my items that I hauled. I got a new lens for my camera, so I'm kind of learning how it works and trying to get the best views here. So I apologize in advance if I'm all over the place. Anywho, that was from 50 Wintertime Mandalas. Also from Kameliya Angelkova, I did some pictures in 50 Winter Miniatures. So this first one you would have actually seen in my Christmas scavenger hunt. I needed to find an angel, but I didn't want to color any angels. I wanted to color penguins, so I decided that this penguin was going to be named Angel. Angel the penguin. So this was another one where I wanted to do a little bit more of an unexpected color palette, so I did the blue and the pink, which I thought turned out very cute. And it's also just done with alcohol markers, and glitter gel pen. These cute snowmen are a buddy color that I did with Danielle from Dani Buttons. Again, I wanted to do a little bit different of a color palette. I kind of started with the red and green, which I kept doing for Christmas and winter. And I said, okay, other colors exist. Use them. So I did purple and blue. Tried to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I had fun with this one. Just very simple. Alcohol markers and gel pen. Lots of gel pen. I think I had metallic and also some glitter. And this one was funny because Danielle was just like, what color do I color the snowman? And I said, white, obviously. So she didn't appreciate that answer. But what I ended up doing for this was a method that I've been using throughout the winter season. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up, but I'm doing sort of like a polka dot glitter effect, kind of to mimic the way that when you look at snow and the light hits it, it kind of just glistens. So that was my way of coloring snow, instead of, doing any sort of shading or anything like that. Just glitter. So that was fun. And this last one, this one was a doozy. Doesn't look like much, but I did all of the marker work in my Bics. This was the first time I was using them for a little bit more wide open spaces. I wanted to see how they performed with more open spaces like this. And I liked how they looked. Everything was going great. And then I got to these fruit slices, which I thought were oranges. I colored them as such, and then I realized that they were lemons. I think that's what happened. So I tried to lighten it up as much as possible, but you can only do so much. So, or you know what? Maybe I colored them as lemons, and then I realized they were oranges. Either way, they look funky. I had to go over it with Posca, but such is life. It looks fine. So again, that was 50 winter miniatures. I wanted to keep Camellia together, but I did get this book very recently, and these are the last two pictures that I've colored in January, but just wanted to keep them together. So this is 50 Romantic Miniatures by Kameliya Angelkova, and both of these pictures were buddy colors with Danielle from Dani Buttons. And I love the way that this one turned out. I actually took inspiration from a color palette on Pinterest, and then I kind of did my own thing with it at a certain point, but I love the pastels in here. And I tried something different with the flowers, where I just kind of did quick marker strokes and didn't color in the petals all the way, just to give it a different sort of effect there. You can see I try to mix it up just a little bit for each flower, just to create some variety. So these are done with alcohol markers and just a little bit of glitter and metallic gel pen. So that one was fun, and I was telling Danielle that this one actually meant a lot to me because my family dog passed away last week, and we used to call him Billy Bunny, so this one was really special that I got to color this one, kind of remembering him. So the other buddy color we did in this book was the donuts. Funny story about this one is Danielle had finished this page before me and sent me the picture, and it was so cute. It was like teal and pink donuts, very pretty. And then when I went to go color mine, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do pink and teal. Like, how cute will that be? And then I was like, wait, why did Danielle do those colors? Oh yeah, she did, because I was thinking it looked really good, so probably in my head I said, oh my god, I should do it teal and pink. But I decided not to copy her, and I did the standard Valentine's Day colors because frankly I don't usually put red and pink together. When else are you gonna do it besides Valentine's Day, right? So I did just the standard alcohol markers with some glitter and metallic gel pen. I actually just colored in the frosting all the same color and then went over with gel pens, or yeah, I think I used the white gel pen for here. So you can actually, if you look closely, the color might be coming through a little bit, but it was worth it to me to not have to go around all the sprinkles. So yeah, that one was fun. It's not my favorite thing because I made this donut look like a burnt donut. I was going for like a chocolate cake donut that's darker, but you know, it's probably still edible. It's fine. So again, that was from 50 Romantic Miniatures. Next up, I don't know if I mentioned, but these are in no order whatsoever. So I did these all at different times, but I did a buddy color out of Spirit Animals by Hanna Karlzon. And I did this buddy color with Michaela Renee here on YouTube. We've become friends very recently, and she's just so fun to watch. So please do go check out her channel. It will be linked down below as usual. So we decided to do this page with the candy, and honestly, I'm so glad that Michaela likes coloring in these books because I don't get to color in my hardback books often enough, and it really inspires me to use my pencils, which I've been neglecting. So this one definitely took me a while because of all of the jelly beans here. I literally did like 3 different colors per jelly bean. Why? Why did I do that? That's why it took me so long. So thank you, Michaela, for being patient with me. But I liked the color palette that I chose for this with the pink. Oh, look, pink and teal. There you go. And then the gold as well. And then luckily Michaela knew that this was a chinchilla, so I looked up a picture about how to color a chinchilla, just how they look. So that was fun. I didn't feel like doing a background either, so of course I went to glitter. I don't know if you can kind of see, but it's just dots in the background with some like star looking things. So that was really fun, and I know Michaela wants to do this other page as well, so maybe we should try to coordinate and do another buddy color in this. So thank you again, Michaela, for doing this buddy color with me. Look at how many tabs I have in this baby. This is Square Mandalas, Animals and Patterns by Belba Family. Now, Lisa from Coloring My Way actually gifted this to me, and I don't think she knew how obsessed I was going to become with this book. So you can see I did quite a few things here, and all of these were done with Bic intensities and in the dot method, because I had never done that before, and I think it just looks so cool. It looks a little bit more bold than the X method, but you don't have to worry about completely coloring it in the full square. So I think it's the perfect mix of what I like to do. And I did all of these while I was just watching my favorite TV show, Supernatural. I had watched 10 seasons of that show back in the day, and there's now 15 seasons, so I wanted to go through the entire series and then catch up to myself and then watch the other 5 seasons that I still hadn't seen. So I think at the beginning of January, I was on season 10, and I'm now on season 12, so this book saw through a lot of that show. She saw me through a lot of that show, I should say. So I didn't need to put flags on all of these, but I just thought, why not? So we got a cat, this bull. Oh, this, I didn't do this one because when I've been doing these, I actually haven't been looking to see what it is ahead of time, but I just so happened that I wanted to confirm what this was because I actually didn't know what it was when I first finished it. And then you guys want to see what this uncolored page is? Let me know if you're already guessing what it is. It's a butterfly. So that page will remain incomplete. Then we got a little lizard that looks like Pascal from Rapunzel. Got a deer. Dolphin. And don't these just look so cool? Especially some of these colors I chose were a little bit more neon just because I was a little bit limited with the Bics that I had, but I think it turned out pretty cool. The dragon. Okay, these are apparently dragonflies, which I was actually nervous that this was going to be another butterfly picture. I still don't see the dragonflies. Do you guys see the dragonflies? I don't know, because dragonflies also kind of scare me because they're very similar to butterflies. Whatever. Got another cat, and I just noticed that these are houses. I could not figure out what these were. How cute is that? We got a little elephant as well. So a lot of pages done in this book, and I will definitely be working in this book again in February. All right, nearing the end here, I have another Belba. This is their All About Christmas book, and I just did one quick page in here. I'm probably going to shelve this book for the rest of the year until Christmas comes around again, but I wanted to try, in that last book, I was using the Bic Fine markers, and I wanted to try the Ultra Fines that I have with the X method. So they're a little bit too thick, honestly, for these 3x3s to do the X method, but because they kind of spread out a little bit with the alcohol ink, I think it actually almost fills the box a little better than your standard X method, so you can really see the beautiful colors on this picture. So yeah, I really liked that. So if you haven't tried the Bic Ultra Fine doing the X method, I might recommend it just because of a little bit bolder of an effect that it makes. And that was in the Belba Family All About Christmas book. Then my last picture is from the Grand Classiques book by Ashat Heroes. This is volume 3. And this was also a buddy color with Danielle from Dani Buttons. So we wanted to color a Disney picture, and she decided on the prompt, which was a character that didn't talk. And I thought I was pretty clever for choosing this picture of Ariel when she is a human and she can't talk. Mainly because I just wanted to color her hair. I mean, how pretty is that? So I thought I was pretty clever though. I did this with my dual tipped Ohuhu markers, and then for the skin, I used the Tombow dual tips. So I had a lot of fun with this one. The skin, still a little weird because you know I have issues with coloring skin in these books. I'm not going to show you the picture of Anna again because nobody wants to see that again. But yeah, not too bad for this one. So I think that's about it. Again, I did 30 pictures this month. I can't wait to do more coloring in February. I'm a little bit obsessed with coloring right now, so I'm sure I'll get more done in February. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you could let me know what style of coloring that you prefer in that Eriy book, it would really be helpful to me. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks so much. Talk soon.